Hello and welcome to part 4 of our tour of Scotland's famous North Coast 500 route. Please forgive my rather indulgent intro to this episode. I discovered that lovely haunting piece of music and just had to use it to show off the stunning scenery here on the most northerly and remote part of the UK. In fact, driving through here feels like you're on another planet altogether. There's a lot to pack into this episode, so let's get going. Well, we've arrived at our next destination, which is Canabeen, which is a beautiful beach. But there isn't a beautiful beach. The cloud has descended. And there's no view. So, unfortunately, we're going to have to cross this one off. On to the next one. And the next one was SMOO Cave, the largest coastal cave in the UK, and the cave with the most bizarre local myth. Legend has it that, and I'm cutting a long story very short, Sir Donald of Mackay, a suspected wizard of the dark arts, had a run-in with the devil himself. Having reneged on a deal with the Dark One, who stole his shadow, told you I was summarising, the furious devil lie in wait for Mackay in the cave, having had a tip-off he was going to be there. After entering the cave, Mackay was warned by his terrified dog that the devil was there, and held back until the devil had, I guess, given up and gone home. In another SMOO Cave incident, Mackay found a small wooden cask in the cave, and upon opening it, out popped a tiny man 5 centimetres in height. The man quickly grew into a giant, and turned out to be the devil. Rather incredibly, Mackay managed to escape again. Sounds like old Donald was not so much a master of the dark arts, but a master of hallucinogenic drugs. Oh, it's chewing a bloody plastic bottle. That's horrible. After witnessing a random cow chewing a plastic bottle, take your litter home, idiots, we arrived at BALNAKEIL Craft Village, a remote little collection of arty but ragtag buildings in the middle of nowhere, with at least one saving grace: a cocoa mountain that was open. At last we were able to gorge on a variety of chocolatey goodies until we felt a little bit queasy. That was the dark one, lovely.
Oh, this is lovely.
You got hot on yours, though.
Oh.
The hot chocolate was literally melted chocolate, I'm sure of it. So we've got our hot chocolates. Mine's extra dark because I'm just fussy. I don't like anything too sweet. It's got to be dark and intense. Helen's got, well, just a rich, sweet, with lots of chocolates. I've got chocolate croissant. Cheers. It was a strange little place, but we were glad we visited, although we still can't understand why. We've arrived at Scorrie, which is in the middle of nowhere, sort of on the corner. And they put it in the prettiest of places, the Scottish, I must admit. Always the toilets. I know, sounds cool, doesn't it? Right, let's give this one a go, shall we? Thankfully the charger worked, and we set off along the hugely wide A road, which was so wide we couldn't even pass a cyclist without pulling over. This is the NC500, folks. The Narrow Carriageway 500. You've got a harder job than I have, mate, so well done.
If you coming past, are they going to be able to get past?
I hope so. It's the cyclists that are holding them up. Soon we had reached a beautiful spot called CLASHNESSIE Bay, renowned for its mild microclimate due to the closeness of the Atlantic Ocean Gulf Stream. Today it was weirdly covered in cloud, so we headed inwards towards the nearby CLASHNESSIE Falls, a 15-metre waterfall accessible by a rather treacherous path. Well, if you can call it a path. Bearing in mind I had upon my person a camera and lens worth several £1,000s that were definitely not waterproof.
Careful. Oh. I'm alright, are you alright? I went on that one.
That's alright, I'm not there.
Oh, okay. Here, oh, that's quite loose, that one. That's loose. Whoa, they're loose. That one's loose. That's loose. Loose. Whew. Ta-da! And they said path to the falls. I think they were a little bit liberal with the term path. It's not actually a path.
By the time we returned to the beach, the cloud had gone and we could just see how lovely this little bay was. I'm a bit annoyed I didn't think to throw the drone up at this point. It's amazing how frequently you look back and kick yourself sometimes. This would have looked beautiful from the air. Oh well. I think my airheadedness was down to hunger, and we were soon up on the village of Lochinver and their famous Lochinver larder, which sells some pretty highly regarded pies. It would be criminal not to, especially given the unbelievable weather here, eh?
And a wasp.
Wasp pie, an older wasp pie.
An annoying wasp.
I've got a lamb pie, savoury lamb pie. They call it savoury lamb. Is there such a thing as sweet lamb? I don't know. That's a savoury lamb. And that's a steak and ale. Well, they did have a haggis with tatties and neeps, and I was really, really tempted. How does it look? How does the pie look? Whoa. We've got some alcohol-free beer. So, just for the kids, yes, it's alcohol-free. Sometimes they put these Charge Place Scotland chargers in such quiet car parks. This one is in Lochinver. There's no one here.
Fast forward now through some windy roads to Ullapool and a little fishing village that we assumed was going to be a bit like Wick, a little unloved and not the prettiest of places. But we were completely blown away by how charming and welcoming Ullapool was. Additionally, we had booked a sort of guest house, hotel, B&B thing we'd not really been looking forward to, if I'm being honest with you. But holy Highland happiness, Batman! I was completely wrong about Harbour House too. Don't let the 1960s village hall exterior force you to make assumptions like we did. Inside, it is modern, bright, and our room was excellent with a stunning loch view. The communal areas are clean and comfy, and the rear lawn area is utterly irresistible, particularly when the sun is out. There's no evening restaurant either, so we chose to walk up to the Seafood Shack, another of Scotland's highly rated eateries. It gets mind-bogglingly busy here, so get there early and be prepared to queue. And accept that the menu gets smaller as the evening wears on.
There seems to be much left this time of night. Well, what is the time?
It's 7:15.
7:15. 7:15. And I think it's down to haddock wrap or a haddock wrap. Famous haddock wrap. Well, I say famous. It's the only thing that was on the menu that was left. But it looks amazing. I nearly dropped mine, which is great. One of the great things about this place is they don't sell drinks. But you can bring your own. They've got a table of glasses. Fill her up. And actually just sit here and admire the view. This is Loch Broom. It's the most amazing end to the day. Yes, come the morn, the loch had disappeared behind mist, but that didn't matter because the breakfast was awesome. This actually turned out to be one of our favourite places to stay on the whole trip, and we'll definitely be back. After leaving Ullapool, we wanted to get to our next destination as quickly as possible because it was the one we had been looking forward to the most. The 5-star hotel, the Torridon. But alas, you won't see our review in this episode because we made one all of its own, and the link for it is in the top right corner now, so go and check it out when you've finished here and see why we made an effort to do a separate video. Now at this point we should have diverted off the NC500 to do the famous Applecross Loop, a wild and beautiful detour with the narrowest, most remote roads imaginable. But alas, Scarlett was teasing me with a low tyre warning, and I wasn't going to risk being stuck in the wild with only 3 operative wheels, especially with the roads being thinner than a Tesco value cheese slice. We will do this route next time we're here, and bring several spare drone batteries too. There are so many little surprises along the NC500. We've stumbled across the highlight of the whole trip, the Kishorn selfie box. Come in and take a selfie. Don't mind if we do. Well, that's one of the strangest things I think we've done. Not far from the Kishorn selfie box is the magnificent EILEAN Donan Castle, a picturesque pile of Scottish stone just crying out for some drone love. The great news is that drones were permitted, and I got all excited, only then to discover that they were only permitted outside of certain hours, which meant we would have had to wait it around about 4 hours. In the words of Beavis and Butthead, this sucks more than anything has sucked before. I wept inside. In yet more drone misery, we headed onward down to the ridiculously narrow road to STROME Castle, a less impressive wreck of a building, but with a spooky little beach that contained the wreck of a fishing boat, the DONAN. It was windy, but I sent the drone up anyway and got some pretty neat footage. Unfortunately, I can't find that footage, so yet another slap in the face was suffered. We did chance upon this cute dog, though, who wanted to play with a stick the entire time we were there. What a friendly local. Made a little friend.
Oh, I missed that. Let's throw it a bit better.
That was a terrible throw.
That wasn't a good throw. Come on.
Feeling a bit windswept and hungry, we found a spot to check our noodle stocks and perhaps make a withdrawal.
We've got a huge selection of noodles to choose from. Oh, the luxury after coming from the Torridon. And from this point, funnily enough, you can actually see where we've just been. You know, that sort of wrecked boat and that castle and the little black dog. It's there. We've literally come all the way around this loch and down the other side. Super. Today's gourmet lunch, chicken ramen. Ever wanted to know what the inside of a vlogger's car looks like on a road trip. God. And there's like lenses nestled underneath things, hidden from view. Like that's going to stop anyone. Pour into a bowl, or an upside down helmet. He who knows noodles is enlightened.
After lunch, yet another drone opportunity leapt at me, and at last we were to capture the beauty and mystery of an ancient Scottish castle nestled in some dramatic mountains.
You find the perfect castle, the perfect parking spot, the perfect path, then they say that.
And on that bombshell, we finish our NC500 vlog. We had come to the junction in the road that takes you onto the A887 and eventually back to Inverness, thus completing the NC500 loop. We had proved that it was totally possible to do it in a Tesla, and also proved that the Charge Place Scotland network of electric chargers are not only reliable and well situated, they are also completely free to use, as at the date of filming this vlog. Therefore, it didn't cost us a bean for the entire trip in fuel, which filled me with a little bit of glee, to be honest, and meant I had more money to spend on whiskey. We weren't going to Inverness as we were heading down to Fort William, Oban and eventually Helensburgh, just outside Glasgow. I may do an extra vlog for that bit, but in the meantime, thank you so much for sticking with us. We hope you've been inspired to drive the NC500 for yourself, and please don't forget to subscribe and check out these other relevant videos to complete the experience. Thank you very much.